Of course, everyone should encourage a friend, a brother from the sister's side, from the brother's side, to bring somebody to the mosque. This will be in your book of Hasanat, inshallah. So this is always recommended and needed. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا ونبينا وشفيع ذنوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. اللهم اجعل ما نقوله ونفعله خالصا لوجهك الكريم. إلهنا نعوذ بجلال وجهك الكريم أن ينقضي عنا شهر رمضان أو يطلع الفجر من ليلتنا هذه ولك قبلنا ذنب أو تبعة تعذبنا عليها. Today, inshallah, we'll go into the third part of the Shaitan series, Know Your Enemy, or Exposing the Shaitan. Today's topic will be mainly on the question, how did Iblis disobey Allah Azza wa Jal? Even though we know who Iblis was, and he knows who Allah Azza wa Jal was. So we will speak about a bunch of things, and for those who struggle answering our Sunni brothers and sisters about the issue of Tawassul, of why we do things the way we do them, inshallah after this lecture they will have the ability, they will be able to respond, inshallah. From the story of Iblis we will take a few lessons. طيب. So what made it possible? What was it that led Iblis to disobey Allah Azza wa Jal? It should have been clear by now from everything that I mentioned that Iblis, he's a creation just like us. He's from the jinn, he's not from the ins. So he had his takalif, he had his duties. And this, generally speaking, this is what made it possible. He's not infallible. He's not ma'asum. He's not one of the angels that cannot disobey Allah Azza wa Jal. This is generally speaking. But according to the Quran and Hadith, there's two main problems that led him to disobey Allah Azza wa Jal. The first one is which one? At-takabbur, arrogance. So we read in Surah Al-A'raf, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قال ما منعك أن لا تسجد إذ أمرتك. Allah Azza wa Jal said, what prevented you, O Iblis, that you did not prostrate when I commanded you? What did he say? قال أنا خير منه خلقته من طين أنا خير منه خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. So he said, I am better than him. You created me from fire and you created him from clay. قال فاهبط منها فما يكون لك أن تتكبر فيها فاخرج إنك من الصاغرين. So he told him, get down from this, which is paradise. It is not for you to be arrogant here. Get out, for you are of those humiliated and disgraced. No takabbur is allowed. So he had a takabbur problem. He had a takabbur issue. He saw himself better than Adam. Yani if anyone was supposed to do sujood or prostrate to anyone, it would have been Adam prostrating to Iblis, according to him. This is his perspective. This is his point of view. طيب. And Imam Ali alayhi salam says, أول من قاس إبليس واستكبر والاستكبار هو أول معصية عصي الله بها. That's the first sin. هلا العلامة المجلسي says this is the first sin after Adam was created. However, if somebody ever asks you what was the first sin that was committed, It's al-istikbar. Okay? In English, the Imam is saying Iblis was the first to be cruel and arrogant. Arrogance was the first act of disobedience he did against Allah Azza wa Jal. طيب. And then in another narration, before we get to the main part, Imam Ali says, فَسَجَدَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ كُلُّهُمْ أَجْمَعُونَ إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ اعترضته الحمية فافتخر على آدم بخلقه وتعصب عليه لأصله. In English, and all the angels prostrated except for Iblis. His vanity stood in his way. Consequently, he felt proud over Adam by virtue of his creation and boasted over him on account of his origin. So he saw himself that I'm better than Adam. Why should I prostrate to Adam? So what he basically did through his arrogance led him to question Allah's command. And when you say he questioned Allah's command, yani he questioned his knowledge. And when he questioned his knowledge, he questioned his wisdom, which is a big problem, which is a big issue. And look what he says, and this is where we get to the interesting part of arrogance and takabbur. From this narration, I want to open a few doors, a few branches that we can speak about that are relevant to us. The narration goes like this. Al-Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam says, أمر الله إبليس بالسجود لآدم. Allah Azza wa Jal commanded Iblis to prostrate to Adam. فقال, this is very important, Iblis, يا رب وعزتك, by your glory, O Allah, إن أعفيتني من السجود لآدم لأعبدنك عبادة ما عبدك أحد قط مثلها. Okay, so in English, if you let go of your command of prostrating to Adam, I will worship you with a worship that no one has ever worshipped you with before. No one. Just don't let me prostrate to Adam. And this is now the key word, Allah's response. What did he tell him? قال الله جل جلاله إني أحب أن أطاع من حيث أريد. Verily, I prefer to be obeyed as I wish. As I wish. I want to be worshipped the way I wish, not the way you see best, not the way you want to worship me. And this is where it gets interesting. Because we worship Allah Azza wa Jal the way He wants to be worshipped. Our approach is the godly approach. We worship Allah the way He wants us to worship Him. He said, I want you to come through the gate of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Because our Sunni brothers and sisters, they come and ask us, why would you go and ask the creation, which is a creation just like you? We respect the Holy Prophet. We respect the Ahlul Bayt. The proper Sunnis, they respect the Ahlul Bayt. But Allah Azza wa Jal qareeb. He's close, He's near. I can ask Him directly. Why would I put somebody in between me and Allah Azza wa Jal? Just ask Allah Azza wa Jal straight. We tell them, you're right and you're wrong. Allah Azza wa Jal, He is close, He is near. He will respond to us. We can ask Him directly. But Allah asked us to come through Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Okay, and then we tell them, listen, look at Iblis. Look at what he did. Allah Azza wa Jal ordered him, He commanded him to prostrate, which is the highest form and type of ibadah and worship. Now if you open our books, our fiqh books, it is haram, it is forbidden to prostrate to anyone but Allah Azza wa Jal. If you go to ziyarah, to the imams, to Karbala, Najaf, you do the prostration in the maqam for Allah Azza wa Jal, not for the imam. Okay? They all mention that. It is haram to do sujood to anyone but Allah Azza wa Jal. And then when we look at the Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal is asking Iblis to do sujood and prostrate to who? To Adam. And who's Adam? A creation, just like Iblis. He was created by Allah Azza wa Jal. And Allah is telling him, prostrate. Don't only ask me through Adam. He's telling him, you do sujood to Adam. This is the highest form of obedience and ibadah. And Iblis, from his point of view, because remember when we spoke about Joker and Batman, like let's see his point of view. Maybe his point of view was, why would I do sujood to a creation just like me? Ya Allah, if you let go of your command, I will worship you like no one ever has. I want to worship you. Ya Allah, I want to be a muwahhid, tawheed. I would worship you. I don't want to worship Adam. I don't want to do sujood to Adam. I'll do sujood to you if you want. But what did Allah tell him? No. I want to be worshipped as I wish, not as you see best. So you listen to my command. Because a lot of times I have debates and discussions with Sunni brothers and sisters, and then when we reach the point of tawassul, if we should do this, if we should not do this, I just bring up the story of Iblis. This is what I want to give you tonight. I bring the story of Iblis. I ask them, listen, what Iblis did, was that correct or was that wrong? Usually they don't know how to respond after this. I just ask them, what Iblis did, is that correct or wrong? There's no way they're going to tell you it's correct what he did. No way. If they say this, we have a big problem. If they say what Iblis did was right, yani Allah Azza wa Jal was wrong. Yani Allah Azza wa Jal shouldn't have taken him out of heaven. Of course they're going to tell you what he did is wrong. Yani. There's no way. If they tell you what Iblis did was right, then just tell them, okay, salaam alaikum, and you just walk away. Okay? If they tell you, you know what Iblis did was wrong, ask them, why was it wrong? What did he do that was wrong? Tell me exactly his mistake. What was it? Was it him saying, you know what, I don't want to do prostration to Adam because I want to worship Allah? We tell him, no. Allah asked Iblis to prostrate to Adam. It's not him worshipping Adam. It's him following Allah's command. That's it. So he went, if he prostrated to Adam, it wouldn't have been a prostration to Adam. It would have been ta'a lillah, obedience lillah. He's following Allah's command. Yani our relationship with our imams, when we ask them, when we visit them, it's always Allah first. Okay, it's like that. We go to Allah Azza wa Jal, we see, Ya Allah, what do you want from us? Who do you love? Who are your servants? And then Allah tells us, come and ask me through Muhammad, through Ali, through Fatima, through Al-Hassan, through Al-Hussein. And this is why we go and ask them. It's wrong to think that we go to Imam Al-Hussein to reach Allah. We reached Allah and Allah tells us, I want you to come through this gate. In the first place, we go to Allah Azza wa Jal. It's always Allah. If we ask through His servants, we do so because Allah wants us to do so. It's always like that. If we had the mindset of, no, I don't want to ask anyone, I want to directly, straightforward ask Allah Azza wa Jal, you can do that. But is that what Allah wants? Or is He going to tell you, I want to be worshipped as I wish? This is how He wants to be worshipped. Allah Azza wa Jal, He could do everything Himself. He is the Qadir. He has unlimited power. He could do everything Himself. Yet still, He has given some missions to His creation. Israel is a creation of God. Why does the Quran say, يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ مَلَكُ الْمَوْتِ? Why Malak al-Maut? Why doesn't Allah Azza wa Jal just do it Himself? Does He need an angel to do that? No, He doesn't need. But He wants it to be in this way. So He said, those who take your soul is not, Allah doesn't take your soul directly, mubasharatan. There's an angel who does that. Okay? So the angel has this mission. Alright. Allah Azza wa Jal has appointed Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad to be gateways, paths to Him. If you ask through them, Allah will accept your dua. He will accept your prayer. That's it. Where's the problem? Allah Azza wa Jal, He wants to be worshipped in the way He sees best, not me and you see best. Because Iblis saw, you know what? No, I would worship you. I will worship you like no one else. I will do prostration thousands of years for you, Ya Allah, not for Adam. But Allah told him, no, you worship me the way I want to be worshipped, not the way you see best. And this is what we learn from the story. This is what we can take away. Because what Iblis did was a big sin. When he said no. Hala, we will come across a narration that is even worse, that is even harsher, that is even harder to read. So what he did was no. He had arrogance and he said no. He questioned Allah, he questioned His wisdom, because I am better than Him. Why should I prostrate to Him? I will prostrate to you. So he didn't show full obedience. He didn't show his ta'ah to Allah Azza wa Jal. طيب. And this is why he committed kufr. The Quran says it in the next verse, when I reach the next point, the Quran says, وَهُوَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ وَكَانَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. But he committed kufr, but in what sense? He committed practical kufr. In the Quran, when we read, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا آمِنُوا. O you who believe, believe. Ajib. Why would he say it twice? Because O you who believe in theory, O you who believe in claiming you love me, you worship me, you want me, you love me, show me your obedience practically. Don't just claim that. No empty words. We don't need empty words. Show me how you love me, how you worship me. Show me your belief in your actions. In your day-to-day life, this is where I want to see you. For you just to claim that you love me, that you worship me, that's not enough. Show me your worship. Show me your ibadah. Elsewise, it would be like the best sportsman on earth saying, you know what, from now on, I'm not going to go into any competition anymore, because I know I'm the best, everyone knows I'm the best, khalas. No, Habibi, you have to show us every single time that you are the best. Or it's like a very good student, he calls his teacher in the morning, he's like, you know I know my stuff, you know I'm good, we both know, no need for the test. He's going to tell you, Habibi, we both know, but you still come and you write your test. You can't call in, tell your boss, you know that I know how to do this, and we both know, so khalas, it's alright, it's in my heart. He's going to tell you, you show up to earn your money. Okay? You can't just claim, Ya Allah, I love you. You know I love you, and this is all I care about. You know, you see my heart, you know what's in my heart, khalas. Alhamdulillah, let's sit back and relax. Allah knows, and I only care about Allah and what He knows, so I don't have to do anything. He knows I have a good heart. He knows I'm a good man. Yeah, Habibi, He knows what He wants to see. Go actually pray, show obedience, worship, ask. He knows is not enough. He will tell you, you know, I know, we both know I could have given you a reward, but I'm not going to give you a reward. Okay? So it's not how this works. You show, you go, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, aminu. Okay? Qawlan wa fa'lan. In your words and in your actions. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. طيب. So the main issue that led Iblis to disobey Allah Azza wa Jal, the first one is at-takabbur. And this is why Allah Azza wa Jal says that this attribute only belongs to me. You as a human being, you can take most of my attributes. We have narrations that say, تَخَلَّقُوا بِأَخْلَاقِ اللَّهِ. Be like Allah Azza wa Jal. Walaykum salam. We have a lot of narrations that say that. Be like Allah in His generosity, in His mercy, in a bunch of things. But when it comes to kibr and kibriya, no. Stop. I don't want you to be like me and takabbur. And this is why the Quran says it clearly. وَلَهُ الْكِبْرِيَاءُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلَهُ الْكِبْرِيَاءُ. To Allah belongs al-kibriya, not to anyone else. And to Him belongs greatness in the heavens and earth. طيب. So we should manifest most attributes, but when it comes to this, we draw a line. In some cases, however, you need to be arrogant. Okay? We have narrations that say, التكبر على المتكبر عبادة. If somebody is arrogant in his falsehood, in a wrong way, then you come and show arrogance in a good way. This is type of worship. This is a type of ibadah. But this is an exception. Okay? There's this known story about Imam Ali alayhi salam when he was fighting Amr ibn Wadd al-Amiri, and he went to him, and this guy was arrogance in person. So Imam Ali told him, I want to kill you. I want to show you what I'm capable of. I want to kill you. He was mutakabbir. Same thing Imam Khomeini, when he did his revolution, he said, I am the person who wants to bring down the Shah. I am the person who wants to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I will do 1, 2, 3, 4. He said this with full confidence. Because he's mutakabbir ala al-mutakabbir, which is a type of worship. But for you to be mutakabbir for no reason, that doesn't work. To be mutakabbir against Allah Azza wa Jal, biggest mistake, you become Iblis. Not the shaitan, you become Iblis. And it just popped into my head, Imam Khomeini, when he says, America is the great shaitan, ash-shaitan al-akbar. Now you know what shaitan means, right? The evil that's deviated from truth and righteousness. This is what it means. So he's not saying that America is shaitan as in like Iblis, you know, the cartoon. It's just like the attribute. It's evil. It's evil. طيب. So to finish this point off, to go to the next point, there's a good narration that summarizes it. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, Al-kibaru rida'ullah. Pride is the gown of God. It's Allah's. It belongs to Allah. So he says, فَمَنْ نَازَعَ اللَّهَ شَيْئًا مِنْ ذَلِكَ أَكَبَّهُ اللَّهُ فِي النَّارِ. And whoever disputes God in anything about it, about al-kibar wa takabbur, God will throw him into hellfire. Because that was the first mistake Iblis did. And by the way, we have narrations that say if you want to break Iblis's back, you lengthen your sujood. You stay in your sujood. You do very long sujood, because he was ordered to do sujood and to prostrate, and he didn't do so. So when he sees us prostrating, it will break his back. You will get the worst side of him. You will make him rage. And this man is doing sujood and staying long in sujood, and I was ordered to do so and I didn't. So we have narrations that say if you want to break his back, you lengthen your sujood. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. That's the first main point. We'll get to the second, which is disbelief and envy, hasad, which is a big problem in society. We could have a series on hasad and what happens. Why is this guy successful? I'm not. This guy's making money. I'm not. This sister got married. I didn't. Why is her husband so good? My husband is not good. Why? Right? And then everything starts. Social problems. But I want to speak about envy and the way that fits the Shaitan series. The Quran tells us, إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ اسْتَكْبَرَ وَكَانَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. But except for Iblis, he was proud and he was one of the unbelievers. And there's a narration that says that he was hiding his kufr inside. He was acting like he was of the good ones, like he was worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal, but deep inside he was from the kafirin. I found an interesting narration from Imam al-Askari alayhi salam, where he says, Iblis said, لَإِنْ أَمَرَنِي, before Allah Azza wa Jal commanded him to prostrate to Adam, Iblis said, لَإِنْ أَمَرَنِيَ اللَّهُ بِالسُّجُودِ لِهَذَا لَعَصَيْتُهُ. Okay, so he's saying in English, Iblis said, if God commands me to prostrate to him, I will disobey him. Khalas, he knew it. When he saw the creation of Adam, he's like, if Allah orders me to prostrate, I will not do it. I will disobey him. So he had israr. He insisted on not doing it. And then the narration goes on until it says, Iblis then said, the Imam, then said, ثُمَّ قَالَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ. And then, this is the important part, فَأَخْرَجَ إِبْلِيسُ مَا كَانَ فِي قَلْبِهِ مِنَ الْحَسَدِ فَأَبَى أَنْ يَسْجُدْ. In English, then God the Almighty said to the angels, prostrate to Adam. So they prostrated. And Iblis revealed the envy in his heart and refused to prostrate. Hasad and takabbur, dangerous mixture. This is the essence of Iblis, the reality of Iblis. Takabbur and hasad. He knew it from beforehand. Khalas, if he wants me to prostrate, I'm going to not do it. So he just revealed, Allah just tested him. Because so many people say, like I mentioned yesterday, so many people say, I'm a good man, I'm a believer, I don't do harm to anyone. But what test did you face? Which test did you face? Said Muhammad Baqir al-Sadr, rahmatullah alayhi, when he speaks in one of his speeches, he says, were we given the dunya of Harun to say we don't want the dunya of Harun? Were we given that? Were we really tested? No. Iblis, he was worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal for thousands of years. Amazing. He reached high levels. MashaAllah. Look at Iblis. What a good worshipper. But then when the test came, he failed. This is why we need to prepare ourselves for the big test. You can't settle and be like, I'm good, alhamdulillah. I attend, I do this, I read, I study, I give charity, I do this, I do that. But when the big test comes, you fail. So many people failed. During the time of Imam al-Hussein, so many people thought we're on the good side. When the test came to go with Imam al-Hussein, they left him. They failed. Only 72 were steadfast and strong enough to be with Imam al-Hussein. Same thing, people now, they say, when Imam Mahdi comes, khalas, I'm ready. I'll leave everything and I'll go. Habibi, who tells you that? Who guarantees you that when the test comes, you will be ready? You will leave everything behind like that? If that was the case, why didn't they do that with the Prophet? Why did everyone leave Imam Ali? He only had 4 people, 5 people with him. Imam al-Hussein only 70. What makes you think that this time is any different? Because people just rely on themselves. When the Imam comes, khalas, that's it, we're all going. Trust me, you will find a billion excuses not to go. A billion. You will tell yourself, you know what, maybe the Imam needs me here, let me just stay here. Actually, I can support the Imam in a secret way, undercover, without anyone knowing. I can just be here, you know, I don't have to go, what, sacrifice everything that I've been working for, my degree, I have plans, I want to live my life. Who told you that when you face your test, you're not going to fail? I just remembered the story of Shuraih al-Qadi. It's a very inspirational story. Maybe we can speak about it some other time, but I will take the whole lecture in a different direction. But remind me, inshallah, when we have the Q&A, Zahra bonfire gathering, so I can share with you the story of Shuraih al-Qadi and how he failed in a few seconds. Aslan the narration, I have it here. Imam Ali says, I'm going to read it in Arabic because I don't have it translated in English, but I'll translate it. He says, فَاعْتَبِرُوا بِمَا كَانَ مِنْ فِعْلِ اللَّهِ بِإِبْلِيسِ إِذْ أَحْبَطَ عَمَلَهُ الطَّوِيلِ وَجُهْدَهُ الْجَهِيدِ الْجَمِيلِ وَكَانَ قَدْ عَبِدَ اللَّهَ 6,000 سَنَةً وَكَانَ قَدْ عَبَدَ اللَّهَ 6,000 سَنَةً لَا يُدْرَى أَمِنْ سَنِيِّ الدُّنْيَا أَمْ سَنِيِّ الْآخِرَةِ عَنْ كِبَرِ سَاعَةٍ وَاحِدَةٍ. This is the part that I want. He's saying, look at the story of Iblis and what Allah did with him as he worshipped. He worshipped Allah for 6,000 years, and we don't know if these years are from the dunya or from the akhirah, and he failed in 1 hour. 1 hour erased years of worship. Okay? So be ready when you face your test. So Iblis, when this happened, he showed his envy. He طلع al-hasad. First big test, he failed. And he became Iblis, al-mal'un. But envy is dangerous. Because I'm going to share with you the reality of envy and then go to the next point. Al-hasad in its reality is kufr. It's disbelief. And this is why you should be very cautious about your emotions, about hasad. Because when you practice hasad, what is hasad? Is you see somebody who's successful and you say he doesn't deserve this. Or you say that I deserve this more than him. Why was he given that? I could have done it better. Hasad, in its essence, is questioning Allah's wisdom, because Allah, He's the ultimate provider and giver. It's like you saying, Ya Allah, why did you give this to him? He doesn't deserve this. I deserve this more than him. Why was it given to him? It's wrong. It's like saying this wasn't put into the right place. And if you put something in its wrong place, that's not wise. It's you saying, Ya Allah, this is not wise. That you gave him this, that you allowed him to be on the minbar, to speak, to be successful, to be good looking, whatever it is, this is not wise. If you have the intention, if you say, I wish I had what he had, this is fine. I wish Allah gives me what was given to her, this is fine. But if you say this person, he doesn't deserve this, she doesn't deserve this, I deserve this more, that's a problem. That's hasad. And indirectly, if you want to dig deeper into it, it's like you saying, Ya Allah, you weren't supposed to give this to him. Or you were supposed to give this to me instead of him. Because hasad is zawal al-na'ma an al-akhar, and you to gain it for yourself. This is hasad. Okay? Unlike ghibta. Ghibta is wishing for you what was given to him. This is good. Okay? Ghibta, this is what's called in Arabic. Just like abuta, but in a different way. Okay? طيب. So this is the reality of hasad. This is the reality of envy. You're questioning Allah. This is why when you read the narrations on hasad, you will find the narrations say that the one who is committing hasad and enviness, his faith is getting eaten. Because it's ruining your faith, your iman, your relationship with Allah Azza wa Jal. طيب. These are the main 2 points that led Iblis to disobey Allah Azza wa Jal. Arrogance and envy and hasad. A third point would be ghafla, heedlessness. Okay? Because there's no way Iblis disobeyed Allah Azza wa Jal without falling into ghafla in the first place. Because if he was really aware of his reality, his existence, of who Allah is, there's no way he can disobey Allah Azza wa Jal. So there needed to be some sort of ghafla. Okay? Take the gun example. It's like somebody holding a gun at your head and telling you, do something. You are going to do it. If you don't do it, it's because you have some sort of ghafla, heedlessness in this moment that lets you not do it. But there's no way. Yani he fell into a sort of ghafla through his arrogance, through his enviness, whatever it is that led him to ghafla, so he disobeyed Allah Azza wa Jal. So the conclusion is, if we don't raise ourselves, our nafs, because no one is going to do that for you. No one is going to come, take your heart, your soul, and clean that for you. You have to do that yourself. Not even the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not even him. We don't have a story where he went to somebody and just, purified him and cleaned him. And khalas, now you're good. With no effort, with no work, with no prayer, with no salah, without knowledge. You have to work on yourself. You have to purify yourself, because at the end, only those who have a sound heart will be successful and victorious. إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. It's your heart and everyone's heart. You have to clean it. Be your own doctor. Be your own spiritual doctor and clean your heart. From arrogance, from envy, from everything that is not needed. طيب صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. صلي على محمد وآل محمد. طيب, I'll just go into the last point. I had 2 more points, but I feel like we're going to take too much time if we do so. The next point is, why did Allah Azza wa Jal allow him to misguide us? Besides what I spoke about the other night, about it's good that we have an evil existence, it will bring the good potential inside of you, right? There's an interesting and beautiful narration that I want to read with you and then share a few thoughts, and then that's it, inshallah. The narration says that it starts like this. I'm going to read it in English, inshallah, no need for the Arabic part. Iblis said, O Lord, spare me from prostrating to Adam. I shall worship you with a worship that no near angel, prophet, or messenger has ever worshipped you with. That part we came across. Allah Azza wa Jalla told him, I have no need for you, for your worship. Rather, I want to be worshipped as I wish to be worshipped. So, Iblis refused to prostrate. So Allah Azza wa Jalla said, get out of here, etc. until we reach the main part. The main part is the following. Iblis then said, O Lord, Ya Rabb, why so when you are the justice that does not oppress. There's no oppression, there's no injustice when it comes to you on how you deal with your creation. And then Iblis asked him, is the reward of my deeds invalid? I worshipped you for 6,000 years. Is that all gone? Khalas, because I refused to prostrate to Adam, everything is gone? Where's your justice? You are the justice. So all my deeds invalid? What does Allah Azza wa Jal say? Allah responded, no. But ask me whatever you want from this world as a reward for your deeds, and I shall grant it to you. This is how generous Allah is. Even though Iblis disobeyed him, he told him, ask me whatever you want and I shall grant it to you. So Iblis thought it. So the first thing, the narration says, Iblis asked for was to stay until the day of judgment. God said, I have given you that. Take it. You can stay until the day of judgment. Iblis then said, give me power over men. Allah Azza wa Jal said, I made you as such. He gave him power over men. Second request. Third one. Iblis said, make me flow in man like blood flows in his veins. أجرني فيهم مجرى الدم في العروق. Allah Azza wa Jal said, I have made you as such. Third request. Four. Iblis said, no child is born to them, but two are born to me. I see them. Oh, that's the request is a bit long. I see them and they do not see me. And I manifest in front of them in every form I wish. God said, I have given you. Okay, this is why we have narrations that with every human being that is born, two devils, two shayateen are born as well. Okay, in his chest, according to some narrations, others say somewhere else. Anyway, God said, I have given you. Iblis then said, he was out of requests. Khalas, it was done. He had 4 requests. What did Iblis say? Iblis said, O Lord, enrich me, increase me. Like, zidni, you give me whatever you want to give me. He's like, I'm out of requests. I don't know what to ask for anymore. So Allah Azza wa Jal said, I have made homes for you and your descendants in their human chests. Fi sudurihim. Okay? Iblis said, my Lord is sufficient for me. Hasbi Rabbi. This is what he responded. Then Iblis said, by your might, I will mislead all of them except your sincere servants among them. Then I will come to them from before them and from behind them and from their right and from their left. This is the verse of the Quran. And you will not find most of them grateful. طيب. So Allah Azza wa Jal, as a reward for Iblis, for his deeds, he prolonged his life until the day of judgment. And he granted him what he asked for. We take the generosity of Allah into account here. And Allah Azza wa Jal is giving Iblis even that. طيب. And then Iblis, however, himself, he's saying that I will mislead all of them except, he's making an exception, إِلَّا عِبَادَكَ مِنْهُمُ الْمُخْلَصِينَ. Okay, I just want to explain the difference between mukhlas and mukhlas, and then inshallah that's it. طيب. Because Iblis himself is saying that I will not be able to mislead the mukhlasin. If we look into the Quran, we have al-abd al-mukhlis, mukhlis, and mukhlas. It's only a haraka. That's the main difference between them. But what's the difference between mukhlis and mukhlas? Both imply sincerity. Comes from ikhlas. Okay? Both imply that. But mukhlas is a higher level of ikhlas than the mukhlis. Because the mukhlis is somebody who's in the first stage of sincerity, who's trying to develop himself to come closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, who's still working, who's still struggling to become sincere. Al-mukhlas is somebody who finished, who reached the stage of sincerity, who's done. Like the prophets, like the imams, and like other people who reach the stage of a mukhlas. Iblis is saying, those I have no access to. What we take from this is that we give Iblis access to us. I will speak in the next lecture, inshallah, I'll speak about this point more in detail. Yani. We give Iblis access. I will mention, I believe, 7 points that when we do them, when we commit them, then Iblis has access to us. If we block each and every one of them, he won't have access to us. So it's us who give Iblis access. He doesn't have power over us regardless. If that was the case, then we would question Allah's justice. We would tell him, why did you create us in a way where we cannot defend ourselves? Like if Iblis had the power to come and force us to do things, we would question Allah directly. Ya Allah, why did you give him power to do so? I don't have free will anymore. But he's saying, إِلَّا عِبَادَكَ مِنْهُمُ الْمُخْلَصِينَ. So in conclusion, to wrap it up in Imam Ali's words, because we have to mention Imam Ali alayhi salam, he says that Allah gave him, God allowed him time from a different perspective, yes? God allowed him time in order to let him fully deserve his wrath. He gave him time so he can gather more sins, Iblis. This is why he gave him more time. And to complete man's test. This is what I spoke about yesterday. Okay? We can be the better version of ourselves if we have an enemy like Iblis. And to fulfill his promise. Because he worshipped him, Allah wants to give him his reward, so he promised him reward for every good deed that he does. طيب. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. I don't know, are you tired? Can I have another 2-3 minutes just to finish off the last point? Very quick. Very important question though. Okay? طيب. There's a question that people ask sometimes, and they say, why do we see that Muslims, despite the greatness of Islam, are just really bad? Like Muslim countries especially, it's not organized, it's not clean, there's no civilization. How come? If Islam was really how you guys claim, we should have the cleanest countries, the most organized countries, the best countries, right? Because this is a Muslim country and Muslimin live in it, but we don't see that practically on the ground. So they ask these questions. There's a few answers. I just choose two. Okay, the first one is that we don't agree with that. We don't say, أصلا the question we don't agree with. We don't accept that this is true. And what you're claiming, what you're saying, that Muslim countries or Muslimin in general, they're not very organized, they're not very clean, they're not good. We don't agree with that. But why don't we agree with that? Because this applies to non-Muslim countries as well. There's many non-Muslim countries who face similar things. So it's not only about Muslim countries. Just put aside that the West corrupted these countries, they stole these countries, they caused chaos in these countries. So it's them who did that to Muslims, not Muslims who are doing this to themselves. This is number one. Number two, we have many beautiful examples of countries that are Islamic, like Iran, clean country, organized country, etc. Okay, we have that. So Iran, for example, doesn't apply to your question. Doesn't apply to what you're saying, yani. And let's just put that aside. If we want to look at it from Shaitan's perspective, if he's seeing that Muslimin are getting on the way of truth, on the path of truth, they're getting better, they want to reach Allah Azza wa Jal, his focus is going to be on those Muslimin. He's not going to focus on the kuffar. He doesn't care about the kuffar. Because you try to bring someone down who can compete with you. But if somebody doesn't compete with you, you don't care about them. Okay? And in the Quran, the verse that says about Iblis, لَأَقْعُدَنَّ لَهُمْ صِرَاطَكَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. Okay? Be it sit or be it other meanings, it doesn't matter, but he is on the Sirat al-Mustaqim, Iblis. And we pray in our prayer, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. So we're going to face Iblis. The closer you get towards Allah Azza wa Jal, the harder your test becomes. Because the closer you are to the final destination, the harder he will be on you. Because you're going. But if somebody is not even on the right path, he doesn't care. He just leaves them. Yeah, do your thing. But if somebody is a Muslim, so many people who when they try to become Muslimin, they face things they never faced before. Like now I'm having doubts. Now I'm having shak. Now I'm questioning myself. I'm questioning religion. These questions never came up before. Yes, because Iblis didn't care about you. Now, since you chose to be on the path of truth, now since you got on Sirat al-Mustaqim, now He's coming for you. This is why you get new questions, new doubts. It's fine. Just you have to fight back. You can't lay back and just be the way before you became religious, before you actually practiced. Now Iblis is coming after you, and now you have to be strong. طيب. There's a last narration, but it's not important. It's not going to add much to what I already said. I'll end this here. Walhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi al-tahirin.